Maraming salamat sa ating MC, Sir Palangdao. At maraming salamat sa AC na pinangunahan ng ating minamahal na President or Director, Sir Anacleto Karan. It is indeed my honor and privilege to be back dito sa aking beloved alma mater. Sa umagang ito ay specifically to deliver the message in this special service. Napakarami kong alaala dito sa ating school. By the way, I would like to specially mention, tutuwa ako na hanggang ngayon ay nandito pa ang isa sa aking contemporary, si Ma'am Roda. Si Ma'am Roda ang aming treasurer noon sa Student Missionary Fellowship nung ako ay president sa aming senior year. So maraming salamat. It is indeed my honor and privilege na may deliver sa inyo ngayon ang message. I wish and pray God will work in our hearts and minds as we listen to this message. A story is told. Maikling. Once, 4 priests were spending a couple of days at a cabin. In the evening, they decided to tell each other their biggest temptation. The first priest said, "Well, it's kind of embarrassing, but my big temptation is bad pictures." Mga sexing pictures. Once, I even bought a copy of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition. The second priest, ito naman ang kanyang sinabi, "My temptation is worse. It's gambling. One Saturday, instead of preparing my homily, I went to the race." Katulad ng San Lazaro o Santa Ana, karera ng kabayo. At nagpunta ako roon para tumayak. Hindi nagpahuli ang pangatlo. Ang sabi ng third priest, "Mine is worse still. I sometimes can't control the urge to drink. One time, I actually broke into the sacramental wine." Pati yung wine na ginagamit sa communion ay kanyang pinakialaman at doon siya ay nagpiesta. Ito naman ang sinabi ng ika-4. Ang sabi niya, "Brothers, I hate to say this, but my temptation is worst of all. I love gossip. And if you guys will excuse me now, I'd like to make few phone calls." Meron na lang akong mga ilang tatawagan. Siguro ikakalat niya na kung kanyang mga narinig. May I ask, is there anyone here who does not encounter or experience temptation? Now I wonder, who has the worst temptation among us? For our message this prayer day, I'd like to speak about temptations, overcoming temptations. In so doing, I'd like us to revisit the Bible's story on the temptation of Christ. The temptation of the Lord Jesus Christ with Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 to 11 as our main text, although this is also recorded in Mark chapter 1, verse 12 and 13, and Luke chapter 4, verse 1 to 13. The Lord has laid the desire and the burden in my heart to share this message, which I entitled Living Out the Truths and Lessons from Christ's Temptation. This underscores the proposition that although it is difficult, temptation can be defeated through Christ as our great Savior and example. I sincerely and strongly believe that this topic will always be very relevant, to each and every one. Mainly for the following unignorable and undeniable reasons. 1. Temptation is one common recurring experience among men, especially among God's people. No one can say, I was never tempted. I am not being tempted. I will never be tempted. Temptation exempts and excludes no one. Thus, we need to learn and be continually reminded about overcoming temptations. 2. Christ is the key person in overcoming temptations. Under this, may I underscore, in Christ, we stand on the ground of victory, the winning side in our warfare against sin and Satan. Christ is our greatest might over temptations. Romans 8:37 says, we overwhelmingly conquer through Him who loved us. John 16:33 says, in the world you have tribulation, but take courage, I have overcome the world. 1 John chapter 3 verse 8 says, the Son of God appeared for the purpose, this purpose, to destroy the works of the devil. 1 John chapter 4 verse 4 says, you are from God, little children, and you have overcome them, because greater is He who is in you than he who is in the world. Secondly, about Christ. In Christ, we see our greatest supreme model or example of victory. Christ is our greatest model, motivator, and mentor in overcoming temptations. Hebrews chapter 12 verse 2 says, fixing our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of faith, who for the joy set before Him endured the cross, despising the shame, and has sat down at the right hand of the throne of God. For consider Him who has endured such hostility by sinners against Himself, so that you will not grow weary and lose heart. 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 21 says, Christ also suffered for you, leaving you an example for you to follow in His steps. And so now may I invite you to join me in reading our text. With utmost attention and focus, please follow me as I read Matthew chapter 4 verse 1 to 11. Matthew chapter 4 verse 1 to 11. May I request each and everyone to please rise in reverence to the reading of God's word. Then Jesus was led up by the Spirit into the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. And after he had fasted 40 days and 40 nights, he then became hungry. And the tempter came and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, command that these stones become bread." But he answered and said, "It is written, man shall not live on bread alone, but on every word that proceeds out of the mouth of God." Then the devil took him into the holy city and had him stand on the pinnacle of the temple, and said to him, "If you are the Son of God, throw yourself down, for it is written, He will command His angels concerning you, and on their hands they will bear you up, so that you will not strike your foot against a stone." Jesus said to him, "On the other hand, it is written, You shall not put the Lord your God to the test." Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all the kingdoms of the world and their glory. And he said to him, "All these things I will give you, if you fall down and worship me." Then Jesus said to him, "Go, Satan, for it is written, You shall worship the Lord your God and serve Him only." Then the devil left him, and behold, angels came and began to minister to him. Walain ng Panginoon ang kanyang mga salita. Makakaupo na po tayo. After reading our text, I now suggest that we take or go through the following courses of actions, which are our major points for this message. A message which, as I have earlier mentioned, I entitled "Living Out the Truths and Lessons from Christ's Temptations." Our points or the necessary actions that I ask you to take right now are simply summarized with the key words: reflect and respond. First, reflect. Hereby I mean, let us reflect on observed, remarkable, notable parts or features of the story. Let us reflect on observed, remarkable, notable parts or features of the story. Due to time constraints, let me just briefly make comments or remarks, or if I may say, share my thoughts and reflections on certain features of the story. One, about the precedent. The precedent. Matthew chapter 3 verse 16 to 17 tells us that this was Christ's glorious baptism, in which God the Father concluded and affirmed with a sounding declaration saying, "This is my beloved Son." The sequence or order or chronology of events is emphasized by Matthew chapter 4 verse 1 with the word "then." May tinutukoy na natapos na event. Then, eto na. What's the importance or implication of this? Commenting on this, of which I can easily, or shall we say readily, agree and subscribe, Stephen Gray says, "We are often at our most vulnerable after a great spiritual experience of victory." Of this, we should also be reminded by the story of Elijah. In 1 Kings chapter 18 and 19, pagkatapos ng spectacular victory against Baal's prophets, susunod na chapter, gusto nang magpakamatay, down na lang si Elijah. Ito naman ang sabi ni Matthew Henry, and I quote, "Immediately after the heavens were opened to him, and the Spirit descended on him, the next we hear or read is, he is tempted. Great privileges and special tokens of divine favor will not secure us from being tempted. After great honors, something humbling may come." Remember, someone said, the enemy will wait 40 years if necessary to set a trap for you. In all my previous years, mula na ako estudyante, way back in 1974, pumasok ako ng isang semester. Lumabas, bumalik 1976 at tuloy-tuloy na hanggang 1980. I have seen how special events such as Prayer Day have been a great source of blessings to many. Personal and collective revival is one of such great, tremendous results. Sa akin personally, in fact, at least dalawang hindi ko makakalimutang message during those prayer days. Hanggang ngayon, nasa Bible ko pa ang notes. One is entitled The Place of God's Word in Revival, and one is entitled From Malachi, The Heartaches of God. Hindi ko makakalimutan kung paano gumawa ang Panginoon sa buhay. Tunay nga, hindi na mabibilang ang mga instances kung saan ang Diyos ay gumawa dito sa PBS. And in particular, ang ginamit niya ay hindi lamang mga regular na mga chapel services, kundi lalo na yung mga special services. May dakilang revival na nangyari dito mismo sa chapel na ito. Sadly, however, there were isolated cases in which some have forgotten and have fallen. Hindi ko na ikikwento ang mga kalungkot-lungkot na pangyayari. Some have fallen and victimized by the devil's wiles. Meron mang two words gusto kong sabihin sa inyo: beware. Now let's reflect on another feature of this story, the place. Matthew chapter 4 verse 1 tells, it's at the wilderness, desert. Christ was alone and secluded in a private place. It could be easily said and considered as, sabi ng isang manunulat, this for meditation and communion with God. In fact, sa maraming pagkakataon, tayo man ay naglong ng seclusion, ng privacy, to enjoy such meditation and communion with God. In some instances, however, it could be otherwise. For as one man of God said, si Matthew Henry, ito ang kanyang sinabi, Satan also knows how to improve it against us, to take advantage, to do his worst. It is well to be reminded of how and where David conceived his sin with Bathsheba. Second Samuel, chapter 11 and chapter 2. Ito ang sabi ng isang manunulat. And I quote, "No one is good that he is immune from temptation. We will never be entirely free from it. There is no order so holy, no place so secret, where there will be no temptation." 1 Peter 5 verse 8 says, "Be alert, be on watch. Your enemy, the devil, roams around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour." Again, two words, beware. Let's reflect on another feature of the story, the purpose. Upon reading Matthew chapter 4, verse 1 and Luke chapter 4, verse 1, we may find it seemingly strange that Jesus should be led by the Spirit to be tempted by the devil. We eventually ask, why should the Spirit lead Jesus into such an encounter with Satan? Obviously, we ask about the purpose. Herein, I find MacDonald's comments valid and legitimate. He says, and I quote, "There is deep mystery connected with the temptation of our Lord. Inevitably, the question arises, could he have sinned? Pwede ba siyang magkasala? If we answer no, then we face the further question, how could it be a real temptation if he could not yield? Hindi lamang pala siya pwede magkasala Gaano makatotohanan ng mga tuksong ito? But if we answer yes, we are faced with the problem of how Jesus Christ, God incarnate, would sin. Ano? Pwedeng ang Diyos na nagkatawang tao ay magkakasala. Ano yung problema? Mga kapatid, the person of Christ may truly keep us remain in mystery or in wonder regarding this issue. He is God-man. As God, of course, he cannot sin. But to say that he could sin as a man, but not as God, is without scriptural foundation. Hereby, as MacDonald says, we are faced with the embarrassing problem. He is still a man in heaven, isn't he? Now, could he still sin? Ito ang sabi niya, to end the issue, to ask the question is to answer it. Amidst and above all this, we must exclaim, ito pa rin ang aking paninindigan, we have an amazing, awesome, adorable Lord and Savior. I remain contented and confident with what God's Word says regarding Christ. Si Christ mismo nagsabi, John 14 verse 30, "The ruler of this world is coming. He has no power over me." 2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 21 says, "He knew no sin." 1 Peter chapter 2 verse 22 says, "He committed no sin." 1 John chapter 3 verse 5 says, "In Him there is no sin." Nevertheless, His temptations are real. At salamat sa Diyos, He was tempted for our benefits. Hebrews chapter 2 verse 16 to 18 says, He had to become like his brothers in every way, in order to be their faithful and merciful high priest in his service to God, so that the people's sins would be forgiven. And now, he can help those who are tempted because he himself was tempted and suffered. Along with this is Hebrews chapter 4, verse 14 to 16. And it says, we have a high priest who was tempted in every way that we are, but did not sin. Let us have confidence then and approach God's throne where there is grace. Then we will receive mercy and find grace to help us just when we need it. In view of what God's Word says regarding Christ's temptation, certain men of God commented as to why Christ was tempted. On such comments, I agree. I subscribe. Let's note what William MacDonald says. I quote, Christ's temptation was necessary to demonstrate his moral fitness for the work to which he had been called. The first Adam proved his unfitness for his work of dominion when he met the adversary in the Garden of Eden. The last Adam meets the devil in a head-on confrontation in the wilderness and emerges unscathed. Walang galos, walang sugat. Wow, what a Savior we have, and what an example we have. The purpose of the temptation was to prove that even under the most tremendous pressure, he could do nothing but to obey the will and the word of God. Ito naman ang sabi ni Warren Worsley, and I like it. He says, Jesus was tempted so that every creature in heaven, on earth, or under earth might know that Jesus is the conqueror. He exposed Satan and his tactics, and he defeated Satan. Because of his victory, we can have victory over the tempter. Gusto ko rin ilagtat. Ito sinabi ni Matthew Henry. Sabi niya, Christ's temptation is one, an instance of his condescension to be made alive or like us, to be identified with sinners. Two, an occasion of Satan's conquest. He was tempted to overcome the tempted. And three, it's a matter of comfort for all the saints. The captain of our salvation is stronger than Satan.